Like marketing and sales, they're not the same thing, but they're very close friends, perhaps married, twins. I don't know, one of those. Not both, though.
The enemy's there. Mm-hmm. Okay, now maybe they're there. People are wanting to hear about personal injury law at 4 a.m. on a Sunday.
Love it. All the engagement.
Welcome back to No Silver Bullets, the Passage Creative podcast, where we dive into all things marketing and creative, specifically how there is no one commercial, no one piece of content, no one magic website that does it for you without proper systems and process around it to make a change. Today's topic of conversation is why some marketing fails. I have Jackson Washer here with me.
Hey guys, I'm the Director of Growth here at Passage Creative. Thanks.
And we also have Jen Drummond here with us.
Hey, Jen Drummond, Director of Operations, also at Passage Creative.
We all work at the same company.
We're all in this together.
We're friends.
We're all in this together. So, question today is why some marketing fails. We'll start there and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that marketing is kind of it's too dynamic. They just want to create that one single piece that works. They don't build for cohesion across their entire marketing plan. They don't have that goal in mind, and they don't go for stability. They don't build a firm base before they get going.
Yeah. And then once that base is firm, I see just a lack of frequency. Again, that one silver bullet, that one message, even if somebody sees it 3, 5, 6, 8 times, it does not have the horsepower needed to get your client to conversion. It takes frequency, which happens over time, to build that trust. So.
I think my biggest thing is just a misunderstanding of the audience, of the demographic that we're actually trying to reach. It rings hollow, and especially if the content or the creative or the outreach, it doesn't align with where the audience is. So I think you see that a lot in very, very local marketing or first time get out there sort of things where it's just general awareness sort of stuff. I think starting with brand awareness is great. But people are choosing who to work with, not based on price anymore, but based on that depth. And so our goal is to create depth for clients. I mean, I feel like my piece number one of why some marketing fails is that it's just missing the target. It's missing the audience. Another thing is that, Jackson, you talked about frequency, that they just kind of throw one thing out there. They pack food for day one of the journey, and then they're like, well, why am I hungry on day 2? Like that tends to happen quite a bit. What other reasons do you guys think?
I kind of want. You go for it.
Yeah, real quick, I was just going to say what Jen was saying earlier on cohesion. It helps out so much with frequency when your brand is cohesive from a digital or physical, both. I mean, from somebody coming in to work on, say it's a HVAC guy, they're coming in to work on your unit. Before that, they had to go to your website. They Googled you. Everything has to match for them to eventually, come there to work on your HVAC unit. So, and that's that frequency that comes with cohesion that a lot of times when brands are coming and saying, hey, we need this video, we need this commercial, and we start asking these questions, we really find out there's some stuff that needed to be done previously before, putting ad dollars behind the commercial.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that was great. I wanted to kind of talk about frequency as an issue as well, because some people think, as Sam was saying earlier, talking about depth, if you don't have the depth but you have frequency, it's that whole quality or quantity before quality. You're losing yourself because you just think you have to be out there every day when you're alienating your audience. Well, you don't even have an audience that suits you because you're not targeting the right people because you don't have the right content.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses will get out there and they'll market for just one season of their business, and they won't consider all of the rest of the parts of that as well. Like they'll push for, something specific that they have to serve a need at the time, and then they'll disappear. Not only does it hurt them from an algorithm standpoint, it just hurts them from a trust standpoint. I mean, one of the biggest things, and I'd love to hear both of your all's take on this, is that building brand trust within every piece of content, every site, every ad campaign we do is really a common thread there. We want new customers to trust our clients in the way that we present them.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people struggle. They don't realize that if they don't have stability across their content, they're not creating a trustworthy thing. Like customers want to know what to expect when they open the door to the service agent I don't know, what have you. But if they don't know what to expect because your content's all over the place, because they don't know you now, they don't know what your character is, because they get a different vibe every single piece of content, then the trust isn't there.
There's been an epidemic of those videos that follow almost an AI-driven script formula, and you see them as most of the ads out there all the time. And they really lack depth. And again, so on No Silver Bullets, you can expect to get unfiltered sort of commentary on things that are going on. Not inappropriate. We're not this is a family friendly program, but we are going to be a little unfiltered on those things. And so I do see a lot of freelancers and a lot of companies out there creating these ads that say, hey, insert city here, do you have a problem with this? I can solve that because reasons 1 through 5. Call or click today. And then they run ad dollars behind that. And that might be a great way to build initial brand awareness. But as far as building that depth to get people a little bit further, it's become the new infomercial. It's become the new thing that people love to tune out. How great would it be to hit them with something memorable and something that actually has some depth and really builds trust early on? So I think right now we're kind of in an epidemic of that content. If you spent any time on Instagram or any time on social media platforms recently, the ads that are there all follow the same generated script formula right now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Like, everything's too formulaic, it's too templated. So we're just like, we know what to expect. This is addition every time I'm saying it. Like, I'm just saying I'm blind now because I can recognize it from a mile away. Customers see that. They don't get anything from the, I have another deal, I can totally solve your problem, but we're not going to tell you anything about who we actually are.
You're kind of hitting on a point there that I think good content makes sure to show, not tell. If I wanted to just tell you about something, why am I putting a visual with it at all? Like, you tend to see that when, a smaller business puts out an ad about a sale that's like a Canva graphic and it just says 20% off. If I've never heard about this store and I just see 20% off, I have to go elsewhere to find more information. And so you have to start thinking about, where am I finding that more information? Am I scrolling down your social media feed? Oh, well, they are all graphics like this. I don't even know what your store looks like. I don't even know who owns it or why they started it. And people are buying with intention because, we're in an economic period where dollars are, a little bit more limited. So when people are buying, not only are they buying something that, that they believe in, but they believe in the company that's created it or that sells it or supports it. And so that's crucial right now. And I feel like I just see it out there a lot that people are missing it. So that, when content just does a lot of telling, I mean, you might as well just phone call me and just tell me that, like, hey, we've got 20% off, thanks, and then hang up. And you'd get the same result, because then I'd be like, who was that? What store was that for? What did they do? Like, that just happens so much. So, I mean, going back to the topic of the episode, because we'll try and stay on topic here, is, why some marketing fails is that it just does a lot of telling without a lot of showing, without proving it.
Something I wanted to riff off that too is, I think about in this new modern age where we're using, digital tools like Meta and Google, to push people to websites. Like, people are believing in, hey, let's put this video ad out there. Like, I want to push them to our website. And then they get to their website and there's no video, there's no anything to expand off of it. It's just like this list of words. And I really don't think they understand their demographic or, the psychology behind how people take in information these days, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're using a video to lead them, you need to have a longer, like, they're interested in recruiting, product, culture, whatever it is. Like, and then we talk about it all the time with that stickiness on websites. Like, that's, we boast, with a lot of our clients do have, longer durations of people, staying on their website. But I really believe that's because it's cohesive. Mm-hmm. This ad is leading me to a site that's going to expand on this message. And then right after that, it's going to guide me to where I need to go to, convert, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, Jen and Madison and the web team have wildly low bounce rates. Like, people explore the sites we create, and it's because we think about telling a story within that website and giving them more reasons to stay, instead of doing the, like,
and done.
We're trying to avoid the moment.
Yeah, there's a whole tactic there that I think marketing struggles with. Because obviously marketing and sales, they're not the same thing, but they're very close friends, perhaps married, twins. I don't know, one of those. Not both, though.
Can't be both.
There's you have to think of the user experience, the sales funnel. If you're getting them in with a hook, you better deliver on what's next for them, what they want next. Okay, so you're having a sale. I need to know who you are, because all I saw was a small banner ad, and you can't squeeze a bunch of information on a banner ad. You shouldn't squeeze a bunch of information on a banner ad. But then when you get to the website, that website needs to be you. And if it's not you, you have a whole content cap. Like people they're not doing marketing sustainably for systems. They're doing marketing pieces. They have all these puzzle pieces, and they're not putting them together in a system that will get things done.
It's like just randomly selecting tactics, but not having them working together in a strategy to lead these people through the funnel. Yeah,
it's just not a good battle plan at all.
You know what?
When
it's
you
not.
when you get out there and you're like, the enemy's there. Okay, now maybe they're there. Like, let's maybe take the time to get an assessment of where we're going and who we're going after. And like one of the metaphors that I used just this morning with a client was, I think it is important that ad content is a little shinier. I think it's important that it does get attention. It's a shiny present, wrapped with that kind of shiny metallic wrapping paper. But we want to make sure that once somebody gets to a landing page or a website, once they open that box, there's something that hooks them in there, and there's something that's genuine in there. So that when they open that, there's actually something of value in there versus another shiny box. Because if you're just doing the whole Russian doll thing with like shiny boxes, eventually you get to there and you're like, oh, this is just full of air. There's nothing in here.
Yeah. And then on that, honestly, there's a problem that a lot of people have where they're presenting themselves in the best light instead of honestly. And I think, Sam, I know you know what I mean, but basically they're trying to play up what they perceive their customers are going to want them to be, as opposed to representing exactly who they are, which is great. And that's what's gotten them this far with all the customers, which, I mean, with a lot of our clients, they come to us because they only are getting word of mouth clients. They're not having systems. They don't have any systems in place that work for them, that supplement all of their boots on the ground efforts.
Yeah, so, as long as they're going to have to work, as long as, they have, if they're not there, they're not getting the sales most of the time.
Yeah. You need your 24-hour sales tools out there in a digital landscape. And it's both. Some people are like only doing digital marketing and they're not getting out there, and their people aren't getting involved in their communities, or at least with, their target audiences if it's national. But it's both. If you don't have your digital landscape clear, then you're not going to land the people who see you out and about but want to research you. Everyone's researching these days. If you don't have your proof online, they're not going to know you do it or trust you do it without you sending them an email of all the proof or whatever it looks like for your industry.
And that's all it is trust building that whole way up until conversion. That's all it is the frequency of your message, your culture, who you are. That's the buy-in. Like you said, Sam, like once they have that buy-in, they're going to do their research. They're going to compare you to the other. And there's not a lot of businesses that are coming in that, hey, this is the only one in this market. There's a lot of HVAC people. There's a lot of boutiques. There's a lot of everything. So it's more important than ever to have that identity, like those identity pieces we do, so much value there, because people want to have a reason to pick you over this other person. It's just right now they don't have that. There's a lot of shallow brands out there.
Yeah, and that's why we don't really close the door on just like handing over deliverables. We want to really like dive in deep and talk about like the root of everything. Like, where are you starting? What are you experiencing?
Everybody
has
different
spots.
What do you need? Everybody has different starting spots.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, and our biggest trigger to know that somebody, is a good valued relationship but might not currently be a client, is when we start to ask those questions, how they respond. We don't ask those sorts of questions about like if somebody's, and we do, we want to build systems, but we are also built to where we can build very targeted one-off projects. That's usually a good starter, a little good appetizer for what a relationship could look like with us. But there's a lot of times when kind of we go into that, and then we, after we assess the audience and we ask about like where things are going to go and what they're going to do, we get to the end of that and we're reiterating like, hey, is this long form piece going to be on YouTube? And when do you imagine putting this on Instagram? And I want to make sure that you have a link to your website or to this landing page in your bio. And we start asking those questions, and they get a little bit like off put, like in that process. We do that primarily because we care. Like if you've come to us for the best ammo, like we want to make sure that you are shooting it how it needs to be shot when you take it out, take it to battle, so to speak. The reason that creative, and especially creative done right intentionally, has a cost to it is not about the equipment that people come in with, or hell, even the technical infrastructure, even though in both cases like those are great. It's about the thought that goes into it beforehand, and the experiences that we've had to have with companies across a variety of industries to be able to get to that point to give you good advice.
Absolutely. It's like we are all kind of semi-professionals in all the industries we serve at this point, because we're researching all of these strategies. We're learning exactly what the pain points are in your industry so that we can see them before you even do sometimes, and genuinely helping you not fall in the same pitfalls that other people in your industry are constantly walking into.
I don't think people understand how long or how many steps are in the path. Like even when you were talking about getting them this great ammo, there's a lot of clients that get this ammo from us, and then like they think, all we have to do now is post it. Well, like that's another tactic. That's another piece of the strategy there. There's certain times, there's certain things you should write. Our SEO queen here will tell you all about that. So, I mean, it's there's just so much I think that goes in, and I can see the frustration on people's faces. Like they really want to understand it, and if we work long enough together, I think they do start to understand it better. But it's just so deep on how many things. And then on top of that, this industry changes more than any other industry, how Google operates, how they rank things, right?
We don't want to hand like a power tool to someone who doesn't know how to use it
and
then expect them to be successful in their house building.
Yeah.
Right. There's been so many times, and it was kind of part of the motivation several years ago to start expanding the services beyond video, which is kind of where we started. And video is still a very crucial converting sales tool. But it started to get frustrating when we'd create a set of videos that to a client would be like, man, like you just read my mind. I think these are going to be so effective. Thank you. And we hand them off and then discover that, and this isn't a literal example, I'm being hyperbolic, but, oh yeah, we posted them all on Sundays at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, great. Exactly when people are wanting to talk about legal services. Exactly. People are wanting to hear about personal injury law at 4 a.m. on a Sunday.
Love it. All the engagement. Your target audience must be very niche.
Right. My target audience tends to be awake at 4 a.m.
They're the LinkedIn guys who get up at 4 a.m. The first 15 minutes they go, they preach to some children about the best tips for success, 2026. Go on an ice bath for 7 minutes, 4 minutes, avocado toast. You get it, those times. Yeah.
I think another reason that some marketing fails is that like it doesn't keep in mind the platform that it's going on. So, we talked about audience and authenticity and frequency and those sorts of things, but then you also don't think about the proclivities of each platform. I'm not going to post the same thing on YouTube that we're going to post on Instagram, that you're going to post on Facebook, that you're going to run in a digital ad that might run on like OTT, like on streaming television.
Nope.
We're going to run very, very different versioning of content like for those specific platforms. And the platforms have changed a lot. Facebook and Instagram, though complicated behind the scenes, still have overall like highest level of engagement. YouTube is the second largest search engine now, so more and more companies are creating YouTube videos. LinkedIn has gone to absolute crap. It's become that's separate topic for separate episode. Generally,
LinkedIn.
You need to. It's become the same way for marketing, in our opinion, because we're very content driven, but that X is like you need to be there. Your content needs to be on there for searchability. But as far as like the level of engagement and the predictability of those algorithms have kind of shifted. But again, topic for a different day.
So what I would say to simplify all that, like this is leverage. How are you leveraging your content? You have a leveraging issue, an implementation issue. Like you're not using it to the best you can because you don't understand the way your audiences are segmented between each platform.
Yeah, how they take in media, like that's one of the biggest things is the psychology behind how people intake data, intake media. It's changed so much. Like, you're talking about YouTube being the second largest search engine right now. So that just and then hearing about how content needs to be different because of younger demographics on Instagram that's on Facebook. Like content is where the value is at. I mean, like that clearly shows you where the world's going towards, And I think it hasn't been like back in the day, people could get away with, like, I mean, just 20 years ago, cutting up a 30-second commercial and then running it for a decade or two on local TV or something, and we're just not there anymore,
Yep.
And if you don't have depth to your brand, you're gonna run out of sales and content to put, and you're gonna lose your audience. I mean,
People don't understand bringing in the new audience, like the younger audiences. We're curving all the way back to authenticity. We're not in that like quick feed, like feed me all the content. Sure, you'll see the kids on the social media scrolling through the reels, but that's not sticky. None of that is sticking. They're not learning people. They're not shopping and looking up people. It's just they're different. They want to connect to their audiences exactly how we've been talking, authentically and consistently.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a deep dive, but this is a lot of the reasons that we believe some marketing systems fail. So our goal when we work with clients, or if you're working with an agency, great. If you're working with a marketing consultant that's helping you figure these things out, they've likely had a similar conversation with you already, that the messaging that you put out there really needs to align with the audience. It needs to be authentic. It needs to be at an ongoing frequency, at an organic basis. And when you run ads, you need to make sure that if you've got something shiny and somebody opens that box, that there's something of substance there when they get to your website. So overall, it's about telling a cohesive story from all of those checkpoints along the journey to build trust. But anything else, guys?
No silver bullets. They never work.
No silver bullets. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.